Hey y'all, Rob the American here, and welcome to Tales of Manchester and of Watches. All right, y'all, I'm coming to you from my same undisclosed Texas location, but winter has finally caught up with us here. It's definitely gotten cooler, but it is sunny. So we're gonna carry on. We're gonna be brave because that's what I do for y'all. Now today's video is something different for me. Last video, I did the best releases of 2024, and this time we're focusing on the worst releases of 2024, the dog watches of 2024. Now, y'all know if you've watched my channel, I really focus on the positive in the watch community. I'm all about that, but I just felt like, you know, they're out there, and I don't do this video out of meanness or spite or anything like that. I want the watch companies to do their very best, but even some of the best companies come out with some stinkers. So that's going to be the focus of our video today. So I hope you'll stick around. This watch is from a brand that I usually like, and that's Zenith. And this is the Zenith Defy Revival. Wow. I don't know where to start with this one. I saw it on the watch blogs when it first came out. I thought, wow, that's interesting. And I finally got my hands on it. I had a chance to try it out, and in person, it was only worse. Now, it's based on a watch design of theirs from 1969, and I guess some watch designs should be left back in the day when they came out. Maybe back then it was considered something positive, but so it's 37 millimeters. Has the crown is at 430. It's the orange, these odd looking hands, and the biggest thing, it retails for about $8,000. Oh my God. And I'll be honest, when I was at the authorized dealer and I tried this on and I was making faces and kind of criticizing it, even the dealer was kind of rolling his eyes. Now, I'm not naming names and I'm not going to tell you where I tried it on, but when the dealer can't even fake some positivity for a watch, you know you're in trouble. So Zenith, get your acts together. All right, let's talk about one of my favorite brands. Well, that has been one of my favorite brands, and this year I'm struggling a little bit. And actually, one of their watches made my top list. So, but unfortunately, this year to me they've been more on the bottom list, and that's Grand Seiko. And anybody who knows me knows that I've been a big fan. I love a lot of their watches, but somehow, to me, they seem to have lost their way this year, and nothing really magnifies that more than their Watches of Switzerland collection that they came out with earlier this year. They came out with three versions of the same watch, all with this cheap ass looking spirograph design. I mean, usually their watch dials are so beautiful, and that's what they're known for. I just found it really bad, and the colors, oh my God. There's the gray, I guess the harmless gray, but even that didn't quite come together. But it's this neon-y green, oh my God. And the worst one is this purple lilac-y kind of awful color. And I remember going into Watches of Switzerland in Liverpool, and they had them in their case, and I was pretty harsh about when I criticized it with the dealer, and he God bless him, he's trying to be positive about it, but there was no denying, at least to me, that they were not great watches, and those retail for about $7,000. I forget how many, 6,000 something pounds, but they and I think part of the problem with Grand Seiko is they keep coming out with all these special limited editions, and they're just recycling the same cases and the same tired bracelets. that it's getting to a point where it's like enough already. And unfortunately, that's not even the three watches with Switzerland watches are not my only Grand Seikos on the worst watches list. And this watch, and I got to look up tell you the name of it. And it's a beautiful watch. This is the Grand Seiko SBGA 499 with this beautiful red dial. It's striking. I saw this, I think this is a boutique only. I saw it in the boutique in London, and like this cherry red dial. I think it's so beautiful. And I'm sure maybe you can guess what my criticism is. It's this power reserve indicator on the dial. Now, Grand Seiko has been putting this power reserve indicator on their watches for years, and I've never really liked it. I think it messes up the symmetry. But for some reason, on this beautiful cherry red dial, Grand Seiko decided to put this coppery pink contrasting power reserve indicator on it. I just think it ruins an otherwise gorgeous watch. So I don't know who the exec or designer decided to do that, but come on, y'all, gosh. Grand Seiko, my opinion about Grand Seiko, if you're just now getting into watches and you're just really discovering Grand Seiko for the first time, there's so much greatness there to choose from. So many good models. But for those of us who've been in the game for a while, their bracelets are tired. A lot of them don't taper. There's no adjustments that you can to be made. The bracelets are the weakest part of these otherwise great dials. And again, the same cases and the same recycling of the cases over and over and over with a different dial color. Grand Seiko, I'm such a huge fan, and I'd love the opportunity to come visit them in Japan. But I want them to be absolutely the best they can be, and I don't know what the problem is, but come on, Grand Seiko, let's 2025, get it together. Come out with some fresh cases, some fresh bracelets, some micro adjustments, and I will be your biggest cheerleader, 100%. All right, let's talk the brand Credor. That's Credor, and Credor is a part of Seiko, so it's their ultra luxury watch brand. So it's Seiko, Grand Seiko, and Credor. And Credor's been around for a long time, and they've just done a revival of the Credor locomotive, which was a design originally from the 1970s, done by famed watch designer Gerald Genta, who is responsible for some of the all-time greats, including the Audemars Piguet Royal Oak, the Patek Philippe Nautilus, and of course my beloved IWC Engineer. And this is an updated version of that, made in titanium. Let me tell you, this watch, I don't care if it was designed by Gerald Genta or it's so awful. It is so awful. It is this very odd hexagonal shaped case with a bracelet that looks like it was grafted on from a completely different design. It's got the weirdest crown at 4 o'clock. It is truly, truly awful. And what was interesting reading the watch community's response and some of the watch journalists, how they were most of them were just going gaga over it and saying how great it was. And I'm thinking, you people are, I think, are hypnotized because it's Gerald Genta, because this thing is truly, truly freakishly ugly, and it retails for about $12,000. Wow. Oh my gosh. So bad. So bad. Now this watch has made both my best and worst, and you're probably asking yourself, how can it be best and worst? And for those of y'all that have seen my best of watches 2024, you'll know why. And that's because it's two watches in a collaboration. This is the Moser Cie and Studio Underdog Passion collaboration based around passion fruit, and I named the Studio Underdog watch in the collaboration as one of my best, and I'm putting the H. Moser part of the collaboration under the worst. And that's because, oh God, the whole package sells for over $50,000, and that's because the H. Moser part of it, it's a perpetual calendar, beautiful movement, and yet in my opinion, the dial, it's passion fruit, and what really killed it for me is this ugly black date window. You got this vibrant color, passion fruit color, and you have this big date window that to me ruins it. And it's a perpetual calendar, and they're moving. I know they're quirky and all of that kind of stuff, but for that price, you got to be kidding. I would love to have my own the Studio Underdog part of it for maybe $1,000. I think that would be amazing, but the H. Moser part, to me, it ruins it. Now, I'm a fan of H. Moser. Don't get me wrong. Their streamliner lines are very sleek, unique. I'm a huge fan of those, but to me, this doesn't work at all. And making it a perpetual calendar and quirky and everything for that kind of price, no, thank you. I'm a huge fan of Bremont, and Bremont this year has really gone through a lot, positive and negative. They have a brand new look, a new CEO, and they've come under a lot of criticism for their new designs. Now, I happen to be a fan, and I think it's really important to give them a little more time to settle in. And coming out, they just come out with this cool pink Terra Nova that I'm a fan of. But this collaboration that they did, no way! It's the Bremont Bamford Aurora. This is a black and green monstrosity. It's 43 millimeters, 16 millimeters thick. It's like they threw everything at the watch all at once. This California dial with the Roman numerals and the numbers, which I am a fan of the California dial, but on this, it looks ridiculous. The crown is at 2 o'clock. Where did that come from? It's a black DLC coated stainless steel. It's hideous. It reminds me of, every time I see it, it looks like chocolate chip mint ice cream, which I love. I'd rather have the ice cream than this watch, because this, to me, no thank you. And while this watch did not make my list of worst watches of 2024, I am putting it on the list of dishonorable mentions, and that's because of the circumstances surrounding this watch. And this is the Patek Philippe Cubitus collection. Well, I did a whole video on it. And I guess because of all the controversy surrounding it and all of that, I will say, I think the expectations for Patek Philippe are so high. It's such a storied brand with legacy and all of that. And this is what they come up with, first collection after 25 years. And they come up with this giant square watch with the round movement in the back. It just feels lazy. And again, it's easy for me to say. I'm not the designer, and I'm sure there were a lot of thought in it, but it just feels like they took a Nautilus and kind of melted it down and just reshaped it. It's not fresh. It's not interesting. There are plenty of other square watches that I think are way more interesting, like I talked about in my best watches of 2024. And for the price, time will tell, and I could be wrong, but I actually think that this watch is dated already. I think once the hype dies down, it will no longer be. It'll go straight back to Nautilus and to the Aquanaut. So that, to me, this it's not worthy of that brand. I guess I have to do my worst watch of the year, and it was a close one. I had three of these in the running. That Bamford Bremont, wow, the Zenith Defy Revival. That's a wow. But I guess I have to give my worst watch of the year to the Credor Locomotive, and that's because it's got such a storied past, and it's really truly awful. So congratulations, Credor. Wow. Better luck in 2025. All right, y'all, that's it for me today. I hope you enjoyed going through our worst watch list of 2024. Perhaps you have one that you want to share with me that I missed. So feel free to leave a comment down below, or maybe you disagree with me and you found some of my criticism to be unfair. Let me hear about it. And if you enjoyed this video, please give it a like and subscribe to my channel. And by all means, I have an Instagram that I use. It's Rob_the_American. Give that a follow, and hope you'll join me again for some more watch talk. Y'all take good care.